Hey.
Matt checking in. You can hear that the tunes in the background, right?
Oh yeah, I can hear some nice festive music. Happy holidays, by the way. We're getting close to a lot of the winter holidays. So if you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, if you dress up as Krampus and abduct children, never mind, I won't go there with that joke. It's too early for one of those. People still might be like, oh, I want to see what this is about. And then like, oh, they did that kind of joke. I'm out. But yeah, I can hear the music. So nice.
Good. Well, if this is your first time watching us, stick with us. What we do here at Six Wins, we have a lot of different types of videos, but this type of video is where we actually draft our brackets that we play out in polls here on our YouTube page. So we're just about to wrap up the best chain restaurant. In fact, the final four is Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, Red Robin, and Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay.
So, that's a weird combo, especially the Red Robin. That one shocked me.
Red Robin might be a dark horse. I don't remember who it would have beaten to get there, but
it beat Outback Steakhouse.
Oh yeah,
pulled ahead by one vote.
So
yeah.
Wow.
So, but yeah, we don't just pull these brackets out of our butt or get them offline. We actually do the drafting. So today we're going to be drafting a bracket for the best fictional athlete. So things from the movies, from TV. Wherever there may be fictional athletes. And I had a buddy make a joke. We're big pro wrestling fans. He was like, you can just add a bunch of pro wrestlers there, calling them fictional athletes, which I thought was pretty low blow. They're not fictional. They're just predetermined, you know?
That's clever. That's an interesting take, though. I guess because wrestling itself is like a real sport, even though it is a stage performance, it's not like the guys do have like personas and characters, but so does like any real, like Draymond Green is a knucklehead as his persona and character. I feel like other players have had like a squeaky clean image, like Derek Jeter and stuff like that. Tom Brady, obviously. So like you cultivate character as an athlete regardless. So yeah, but that's funny that, you know, because they're playing a character and not themselves technically, that they are sort of a fictionalized version. Interesting.
For sure.
Yeah. We changed it. It's just all wrestlers. We're just doing wrestlers again.
Yeah, we're doing wrestling, which we've already done.
Yeah.
But we'll run it back. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind running it back one day.
Yeah, we could, and we could even, to kind of try and keep out some of like that old legend bias, we could do like active wrestlers, because there's enough really solid active wrestlers, and even guys that are like haven't been around for a few years but are like active. Rock, Cena, you know, those guys. I don't know if I'd consider Austin active, even though he's probably had a more recent match than The Rock, but we could throw him in there. But yeah, maybe cutting out guys like Big Boss Man and Taker, he should have had his officially done. So
yeah,
just since he won the first one, then we'd have a new winner.
Right, exactly. He did win the first one, which I don't know. I was super satisfied with that. He's awesome.
It was a good result.
Him and Stone Cold, but yeah. So unless you have anything else to add, we can go ahead and start the draft now. Well, touch on the rules a little, kind of how we usually do it round robin style.
Yeah, for sure. So when we're drafting our brackets, we start and we just do all of the 1 seeds first. So we're gonna have 64 fictional athletes in this. Maybe if we realize we missed a few, Chris and I may go back in and kind of create little play-ins, little like triple threat matches, just if we miss somebody or somebody really pairs well. But otherwise, Chris and I go back and forth. We start with our overall number 1 seed that we think should be locked to make to the Final Four and even win it all. And we say, this is the guy who's the best fictional athlete. And then I pick my first 1 seed. And then Chris would do his second 1 seed and then mine. So we're hitting each bracket at 1s. And then we'll S back, and then I'll go first with 2s, and then 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, all the way down to 16. So it gets really juicy once we hit 9, and we get to start seeing the matchups, actually. But there's a lot of juicy stuff in between, some weird dark horse picks and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a fun time. So, and to determine who goes first, I can't remember whose turn it is, but I brought with me a quarter.
A real quarter.
A real quarter, which Matt doesn't know, but he's going to have to call it in the air. And if you win, you get to choose if you want to go first, or you can defer. But I'm going to flip it on the count of 3. You go ahead and call it. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Heads.
Heads. Okay, so it is tails.
Oh, okay.
So it did land on tails.
I believe you. I trust you. This is the interesting thing. I feel like some brackets I would have wanted to defer on. I feel like this bracket I'm confident enough to go first, so I'm bummed I lost.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So
I think there's some obvious picks where I don't have to be like too nervous about like, oh, did I botch that one?
right. Some of them, yeah, are pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I will go ahead and I got my little list here that I won't share.
Nice.
But let me make sure sizing up the screen is kind of tricky here. But I want to make sure everybody can see my bracket. We'll start here in the Northwest region. And for my first overall pick on the best fictional athlete bracket, I got to go with Rocky, man.
Yeah.
The first name that popped into my head originally.
For sure.
Even though he wasn't like necessarily the best boxer, I feel like he was just pound for pound one of the most notable. So I'm going Rocky for my number one overall.
I think that's fair. He'd have to be a 1 seed because even if you think like the guys were framed as better that he was going up against, but he just like had that heart of a champion and beat him, like he still beat him. So he still proved himself better, even if Drago is like the all-time never lost and just a fluke loss or whatever. Totally. My first number one, I'm going to go with not as obvious of one here, but I think debatable. I think his popularity as a character is good. And I think he almost is as close to what we see with a lot of modern athletes, more so than some of the older athletes that are positioned as like good guys and didn't have any like off the field, off court, off performance antics. I'm going with Ricky Vaughn, Wild Thing from Major League, because I mean that is just your modern day athlete right there.
Absolutely.
Ahead of his time.
Absolutely. I'm assuming, I mean, there's only so many fictional athletes, and guys like Rocky and Rick Vaughn, they're probably going to show up on both of our lists, so I got to try to keep up. Matt's got to try to keep up with removing the names that the other people have drafted. So,
yeah.
Super good choice with Rick Vaughn there. I'm glad he went so high. And taking on over, I'll pop on over to the northeast side, and I got to go with my childhood hero. Matt, you might know who I'm talking about. Benny the Jet.
Oh, okay. I would have taken him pretty high as well. I didn't know if I was going to go a 1 seed for him, but I think that's fair.
Yeah. And it's funny because some of the athletes that are going to show up on here, I'm not trying to spoil it, some of them might be kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to try to get a game like, what was their potential? Like, would they? We did see that Benny went on to play for the Dodgers, and he stole.
It did, yeah.
So yeah, I'm going Benny the Jet. Now,
yeah, Benny's legit. Like at that epilogue, yeah, when the main character is narrating like what happened to everybody. Yeah, Benny is playing for the Dodgers, so he made it. You know, he was a stud. Yeah. Well, this is tough because I was like, well, if we've got 2 baseball, I don't want to have 3 baseball all as number 1 seeds. So I'm going to have to go somewhere else, somewhere different. Not that I was going baseball. I'm going to go, you'd think like football or basketball would have a lot of recognizable fictional athletes, but I feel like those are harder to find.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, and I saw it, and now I'm trying to find who I was going to pick. Oh, boy. Wait, it was... oh man, I swear, who was I looking at? Oh, this is kind of a little bit of it's not a cheat pick. I think he's gonna do better than he should, but I'm gonna go with Forrest Gump and give Tom Hanks, since he won our Best Actor and he portrayed Forrest Gump. I'm gonna let him get a 1 seed here. Forrest Gump was successful in a lot of athletics in his life, and yeah.
Fantastic pick. Not only was he college football all-star, but he was a Olympic ping pong player.
Oh yeah,
and a runner. Yeah, yep. So great pick.
Multi-sport athlete. Yeah,
war hero. He had it all.
Yeah. All right. So like we said, this is where we kind of do like a little S, and since Chris did the first 1, I do the first 2, and we flip back and forth like that. Let's see. Then I'm ready to go with. No, I can't go that early. I will go, and I know you'll have the counterpart for this either way at some point. I will put Happy Gilmore as the number 2.
Yes.
Because he was the reason I'll give him above another counterpart, multi-sport athlete, played hockey and golf successfully.
Fair. And I think the debate will come down to, was he better than his counterpart?
Right.
He won the tournament against him, but overall, was that just one good day he showed up? Or yeah, that's a great pick. I'm glad to see Happy goes so high. Okay, so moving on down. Now, see, this is where we do, I don't want to say finagling, but yeah, some finagling. I would like to see Shooter, spoiler alert, play Happy in one of the earlier rounds. So maybe I'll try to nab him,
We got 3, maybe.
Yeah. So I am going to go with someone from one of my childhood favorite movies. He was the all-star on the Mighty Ducks. Not talking Charlie Conway or Fulton. I'm going Adam Banks.
Adam Banks. I've got a few Mighty Ducks players on here because a lot of them were big studs, but Adam Banks was the big stud. Moved there, big controversy over which district he was located in. Yeah. Gonna be a hawk or a duck.
Was he gonna be a hawk or a duck? And then in the third one, he was the only one of the bunch to get drafted, or he got selected for varsity.
Yeah.
They go from Team USA to a high school team, which is kind of funny, but
yeah,
they're young kids. I think they were freshmen, maybe. Yeah, they were freshmen. He got selected for varsity, so
yeah,
still a badass player. So moving on over to the 2 seed in, we'll call it the Benny the Jet region.
Ooh, well, you know what? This is I've seen this movie, but maybe only once, and it was like I was a little bit aged out of like a silly movie where like a kid becomes a really good athlete, despite like one of those movies, Rookie of the Year, being like my all-time favorite. But I don't want to load up 2 young baseball players as the 1 and 2. We don't have any basketball players yet. Lil Bow Wow, I believe.
Okay.
It was in a movie called Like Mike, where he gets like Michael Jordan's powers basically and is playing in the NBA. I mean, you're at the top of your game. He was like schooling Vince Carter, I believe. So his character is called Calvin Cambridge.
Okay.
And I'm going to put him in there because skill-wise, if you have gotten Michael Jordan's skills as one of the greatest NBA players of all time, then you are one of the best fictional athletes of all time. And I like that matchup where maybe 2 kids could meet up.
Yeah, that's very true.
Benny the Jet. So a little finagling. I wouldn't normally take him that early. He's not that recognizable, but getting it for the skill.
Yeah, well, it's an awesome pick. That slipped my mind making the list, and I'm sure there's going to be a few on both of our lists. You're like, oh, great. So yeah, it's a fun movie and great pick.
Yeah.
Cool. So I will mosey on down to the 2 seed in the Forrest Gump region. You know what? I am going to select a football player. There's a lot of comedy. I'm a comedy guy, but I want to go with a more dramatic take. I'm going to go with Rod Tidwell.
Oh, nice.
Jerry Maguire. He was overlooked his whole career because he was small and he kind of had a big mouth on him, so nobody really wanted to deal with him. But Jerry Maguire took him under his wing. He became his only client, and they, soared right to the top.
Yeah.
On Rod Tidwell.
Nice. He was one of my top football guys. I've got a few others here still.
Cool. Yeah, I got a few. There's a few football guys that I got still hanging here. But yeah, so moving on, I know exactly who I'm going to go with number 3 because I want to see maybe him line up with Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Sure,
I love
Gavin
it.
Just makes me so sad that he wasn't a number 1 seed, but that's okay.
All right. The next 3 in this region. So it's Ricky Vaughn, and our 2 here is Adam Banks. Ooh, let's get a possible hockey matchup in the Sweet 16.
Okay.
I'm going to go, let me just make sure I'm picking the right character here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've got to go with Reggie Dunlop from Slapshot.
Sweet.
I think might be. I mean, I think for kids, like Mighty Ducks characters, like the most iconic hockey players. But I think for an adult, Reggie Dunlop and the Hanson brothers are probably the most iconic like hockey fictional characters. So kind of see like we might get a picture of our audience generally. Like, are they our age where they'll probably go Adam Banks? Could they be a little bit older? Or are they young kids who don't know any and they're like, kids movies are stupid, pick the old guy?
Yeah, fair. And you know what? I'm embarrassed to say, as a comedy guy, I've never seen Slapshot. And it's a travesty. I need to find it on a streamer or just rent it on Prime. But
Craig is emailing you a torrent right now to download it.
Dude, he is something else. Last time I hung out with him, he was showing me an app he has on his phone, and he has like a what do you call it? VPN.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Block, anyone from disrupting, but he's got every movie, every series just right there on his phone. It's the coolest thing.
Yeah, for sure. That does not surprise me.
So, all right, Reggie Dunlap, good pick. I'm assuming, it's a classic movie. So, moving on up to the Benny the Jet region, I'm going to go with a football guy.
Ooh, all right.
Yep, from one of probably, I don't want to say my number one, but one of my personal favorite football movies, The Replacements. I'm going with Shane Falco.
Nice.
Yeah, got to go with Falco. He, you want to talk about heart? There's going to be a few people who make it onto this list just by heart alone.
Yeah.
And he's my guy. So, Shane Falco.
I love it. Yeah, and he is like one of those like heartwarming stories of like an athlete succeeding, but he was also playing at a high level. Isn't it because like the league goes on strike?
Exactly. Yeah.
And he uses that to get like a major league professional career after that. Anyway, like I think he does end up making a team because of how he did. Yeah. If I remember correctly. So like.
Yeah. It was really good, feel good movie. Even though it's played on TV all the time, I still feel like The Replacements is an underrated sports movie. There are so many great characters. Like every character on the team is super distinct, from the kicker to the wide receivers to some of the linemen. It's just fantastic.
For sure. I actually wanted to take him as my first football player, but I was like, is that too high? Are people going to be like, there's better football guys? You got to take Tidwell. You've got to take, I'm looking through my list and I'll probably miss somebody, but like, you've got to take one of these other like big football names. But I was like, I think Shane Falco for me checks the boxes of like success as an athlete, fictionalized, and also like a really good character and recognizable. So, for sure. All right. I know who I'm picking here. It's going to be Creed. But I'm going to go with Adonis Creed earlier. This is for the young kids to get Adonis Creed, Apollo Creed's son here. His movies are popping off. He's the main character. Yep. Apollo Creed was never the main character, so he's probably better by that logic.
Yep, absolutely. Cool. So moving on over to 4 seed. We're cruising right along. 4 seed in the Rocky region.
We are cruising. Is it time to break out some more comedy, guys? Maybe. Let me just see if there's anything that I can sneak in here that's a bit of a wild card as a 4. Yeah, what the heck? Oh, you know what? I think it's time. I do have some weirder, stranger picks for some female representation for fictional athletes, but this one is an obvious one that everybody would expect on here at some point, and it's from A League of Their Own, going with Dottie Hinson.
Great pick. She's on my list too.
Yeah.
Let me snag Dottie. Yeah.
What a great name, Dottie. They don't name kids like that anymore, do they?
Oh, such a good name, such a good movie that I need to go back and watch. It's probably been 20 years since I've watched A League of Their Own, and it's time. Great pick. Okay, cool. So I am going to mosey on down. I didn't know I was going to go because my comedy list is crazy, but I need to get some drama representation. And another guy that just made his way into the rankings, Pure Heart. If you haven't seen this movie, I would highly recommend it. I'm going Randy the Ram Robinson.
Oh, nice.
From
the wrestler. Yeah. So I haven't seen that movie. So when I saw him on there, I was like, I want to put him on my list, but I was like, Chris will have him if I don't, I feel like. So I just wasn't sure because I haven't seen that movie, like, the quality.
Yeah.
His fictional character. Yeah.
It's awesome. Same director, Aronofsky. I believe same director is like
Black Swan.
Black Swan.
Did you Requiem for a Dream? Yeah. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Stuff. Number 4 over here in the Benny the Jet region.
Oh, this is that kids region, doing it for the kids. I'm not. Oh man, there's so many. I feel like I'm in a really like wild card section, but ooh, this one might hurt Benny the Jet. I have not seen this movie, but I've heard this character it's a famous movie. It's a baseball movie, The Natural.
Okay.
And the main character is Roy Hobbs. So I'm gonna go Roy Hobbs. The description I read made him sound like a stud fictional athlete. So if it's a good movie and he's actually like a dude that's really good and isn't just about having heart, I'm going to get him on there.
Awesome. I had him on my list too. Never seen the movie, but apparently he was the natural. He was awesome. So
right? Yeah, there you go.
Let's see if he can take down Benny the Jet. Be the G. Be the J.
Be the J. Be the J that you want to see in life.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna just go ham on my comedy list here. I need to get some good representation. Okay. So here's where I gotta put down.
Oh yeah. Who's your first comedy athlete guy? Because there's a couple. There's like 2 or 3 I feel that are all neck and neck for best comedy athlete.
I know. Okay. I think I know where I'm going. I wasn't planning on taking him so early, but he's an athlete of a sport that's not even a real sport.
Nice.
I'm going with Coop Cooper.
Yeah, there we go.
It's actually Joe Cooper, but everyone knows him as Coop.
Yep, for sure.
Movie Basketball, and they make up the sport. I don't know why my voice just cracked. Sport is a cross between baseball and basketball, and it's hilarious. So go with Joe Cooper.
Awesome. Love it.
Moving on up to the 5 seed here in the Rocky region. I'm going to stick with the theme of comedy. I want to go with a bowler this time.
Oh.
That bowler is Roy Munson.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Nice. There's a couple options. Yeah.
Now, here's one where he actually lost the final game against Bigger and McCracken, but I still say he's the better athlete because the potential was there. He was the best bowler in the world. He beat Bigger earlier in the movie in a tournament, and then the guys, they sliced off his hand, and still, with a rubber hand, he still managed to make it to the finals and almost beat Bigger. So I'm going with Roy Munson.
Nice.
Here. Oh, yeah.
Right on.
Number 5.
All right. Oh, man. Am I going to try and finagle? Because I think I could see a really cool Randy the Ram versus this guy matchup. It would almost play as like wrestling since this character is basically like a wrestler cut out of life. I'm talking about Drago. But I'm worried that I missed one football player that I think there probably won't be that many more football players, honestly.
Okay.
I'm thinking this one has to be there. It's Jamie Foxx in Any Given Sunday as Willie Beeman. So I'm going to get him on here before it becomes ridiculous and I go, well, I can't even put him on the list now. It's too late.
Yeah.
Classic Matt move. So, yeah.
That's a good pick. Sweet. Well, I'm going to stick with the theme of football, but I'm going to take it to the little leagues.
Yes.
I'm going with Spike.
Oh, Spike! He's on my list. I didn't know which Little Giants character I'd go with first, but now I don't have to worry about him.
Yeah, it's tough. The Icebox and Junior Floyd make a good
yeah.
swing, but I'm going with Spike here. I think this is an awesome
I love it. Well, I'm gonna finagle here. I've been holding off on some more comedy, true comedy people. And I think this could be a really great second round matchup. I'm going to go with Ben Stiller's character from Dodgeball, White Goodman.
Wow. All right. Great pick.
What a great villain he would have been in a, Matt and Trey sports movie. It's almost like they could have, like, if White Goodman was a villain in basketball, that movie would have been very different, but still would have worked really well, I bet.
Oh man, it would have been awesome. He basically played the same character from Heavyweights, but just turn the dial up a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
It's hilarious. Cool. Great pick, White Goodman. Moving on up to the 6th seed in the Rocky region.
Man, all right. Let's see. I'm going to have to go with... See, I don't want to put too many boxers in here and be like, oh, Rocky might have to actually go up against one of those boxers if things happen. So I can't go Drago here or Apollo Creed. So I'm going to have to find... Let's see. We actually don't have... Dottie's a baseball player. Don't have any football players here. I'm going to go... Or do I start... These are the 5s. No, these are the 6s. This is where I start doing my weird ones. I really want this guy to be in the bracket. I don't know if anybody would take him if I don't. It's not a great pick. I don't remember his background and if he was like a pro or if he just also played in the minors. But I'm going with Wolf the Dentist Stanton.
Wow.
From D2 the Mighty Ducks. Because, I mean, he was skilled, right?
Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, kind of a coward, but...
He took Gordon Bombay out of the chance to go pro or whatever early on in the minors or something. So, yeah, Wolf Stanton. I couldn't remember if it was Stanton or Stanson. But it's Stanson.
I think it's Stanson. If I can come back and clean this up
Wolf yeah. Wolf the Dentist is fine. Perfect.
There's a way to tab down, but it's weird in Excel, so I'll figure that part out later.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Wolf the Dentist. That's a fantastic pick.
I think you're bottom left.
Oh, bottom left. Good call.
Yep. Before we go, wait, what happened?
I botched it. Was it last video? I botched it. And I was just like, where do we go from here?
For sure.
Okay. Ooh, I got some real good picks I'm sitting on here. Okay. I can't let this gentleman slip down any further. I'm going Bobby Boucher.
Oh, wait, I should have him on my... I know I wrote him down. He should have been my first football pick. I can't believe... Yeah. Oh, there he is. I wrote him in a weird spot. Nice. Yeah. He 6 is fine. He definitely could have been higher.
Oh, yeah. He tore up the league.
Yeah.
You know, just say something that offends him and, you know...
Nice pick. Nice pick.
Well, all right, 6th seed here in the Benny.
All right, yeah, kind of a lot of younger kids here. Let's see. All right, then I know who I'm going with. Is it a young kid? Not necessarily. But is it the most potentially the most attractive person on this list? Yeah, I'm going Lola Bunny.
Oh, Lola, she was awesome.
Yes, she was. I'll just leave it at that before I say weird things and embarrass myself. But yeah, that was as much as I liked sports and wanted to go see it because it was Looney Tunes and it was mean aliens and it was basketball. That was a nice plus there. Yeah. Didn't know I'd come away from that movie liking that character so much.
Right. And I'll say this. I wanted to throw on one of the Monstars, but A, I didn't know any of their names, and B, they all stole their talent
from me.
Like,
yeah.
Were they talented, or did they just take Larry Johnson's skill set, you know?
Yeah. There was like Blanco, Crump, Not. I know Blanco for sure and Not for sure. The orange one was like Crump or something weird. I don't remember the green one, but yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. It's on me then, or wait, I think we're bottom right. Did you get yours for 6?
Didn't get mine. Gosh, you are saving the show here. Cool. All right. So my pick for Forrest Gump region.
Oh, I got a good 7 when we get there.
Okay. I'm not just super stoked on any of my picks from drama, but I will. No, I'm going comedy. Let's go with Kenny Powers here.
Oh my God! I didn't have him on my list. That's such a good pick. I love it.
I gotta go Kenny Powers.
Oh my god. Yes. That show is so funny. Oh man. If you have not watched Eastbound and Down, if you're a Danny McBride fan, it's just, as Michael Cole would say, vintage McBride. It's everything you want from a Danny McBride.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Okay. All right. So for this next pick, let's see what we can finagle. I'm gonna make sure we get some good representation. I'm gonna go with Ricky Bobby.
Nice.
Yeah, well, Ricky Bobby there at the 7th seed. It seems like a pretty good spot for him if he if Ricky Bobby and Happy Gilmore make it past the first round. I think that'd be a good second round match.
That's a cool matchup. Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, so 7, I think we're on.
Who's the 2 here? Adam Banks. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then, you know what? Let's have Adam Banks possibly face off against another stud kid. Let's have him go up against Icebox, Becky O'Shea.
Ooh,
Let's have her go here.
Icebox, that's pretty good. I think I got a good finagle for that first round. If she doesn't get taken yet, spoiler.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, so good pick with the Icebox, Ice Chest. Okay. Got some interesting picks here. I'm gonna go with okay. I think I got a pretty good. I'm going with Henry Roland Gardner here.
If you didn't take him here, I was gonna finagle him into the 8th seed in this region for the. So there we go. I like it.
Pretty good. I feel like with Benny the Jet, I'm more inclined to put more like kids there. Just want to
Yeah. Done a good job. This will be a fun region at least to see play out. All right, I think I know my number 7 here. This is where it starts. Where I start pulling some weird, unlikely ones, but they do make sense. I actually thought of another character. This is from a book series because I was like, I gotta get a sports athlete from a book series.
Oh, sweet.
I wish it wasn't like the most popular book series, but it's from Harry Potter. It's probably going to be Harry Potter because he's a Quidditch stud, which is the sport. But I almost wanted to go with Victor Krum, who is like this like big, tough, like sort of like Russian school type guy who's actually like the best Quidditch player. But like because Harry Potter is the main character, like he sees more focus. So I'm gonna say Harry Potter, but shout out Victor Krum for being like the Shooter McGavin of Quidditch, and Harry Potter is just like the Happy Gilmore who comes in and like gets good really quick, and so everybody thinks he's the best.
That's awesome. I didn't even think to go with books. Not that I'm a huge reader, but I think if I would have done a little bit of Google research, I would have been able to come up with a few. But that's a good thing.
It was harder than I thought, because did you grow up reading any like sports books, like Matt Christopher books?
I did, yeah.
Because like he was an author that just wrote like about all sports, and it was like kids in sports, like the kid with the golden arm, and like football books, baseball books, but like none of those characters were like stand out above the rest. So I was like, I can't just find like a random Matt Christopher book because somebody'd be like, well, what about this one? Or why? Why Matt Christopher books? All right. Number 8 here in the Rocky region. I think I'm gonna go back to baseball here. Unless I do a weird pick. No. Oh, this character, I gotta find a good place for this character. I'm gonna do Willie Mays Hayes from Major League. He was actually like a really skilled player, really fast. I mean, actually, a lot of the guys on the Indians, like Ricky Vaughn, was really talented, but anger, temper issues. Willie Mays Hayes, really fast, really good, but a showboat.
Right.
So, but yeah, kind of like the opposite of Rocky.
Right.
Rocky takes it seriously, respects it. Willie Mays Hayes is gonna F around.
That's awesome. I didn't even think to put Willie Mays Hayes on my list. I had Ricky Vaughn, but I didn't get a whole lot from Major League. So
I got too many Major League guys. I'm gonna have to cut some.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to cut quite a few here too. Okay, all right, moving on down to the 8th seed of the Ricky Vaughn region. I think I got a good one, but I don't want to pull it out too soon. I'm gonna go. This one is actually from a movie that I haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. I couldn't even tell you like the plot other than like just the basics. Jesus Shuttleworth from the movie Game.
Yeah.
Great athlete, but I would have to go back and watch the movie. I just feel like he's got to be there. So
Same. He was very high on a lot of the lists that I saw, and I also have not seen it. And I was like, so I had him written down, but I was like, I don't want to take him because I don't have a good perspective on like how recognizable he is for people. So glad he's on there though. I'm sure he deserves it. All right. Then here in our kid region, more or less, except with a few oddities on there, I've got two choices here. One I want to put on here, but I think is really good and want to position them to like upset somebody and not Benny the Jet. Another is a really ridiculous pick, but will lose hopefully because I hate this character. This is from a video game franchise. I'm going with the character I hate. This is from a video game franchise. I'm passing it off as that they have Olympic Games. Mario and Sonic go to the Olympics. So I'm picking Sonic here.
Okay.
Sonic games are terrible, and if I will stand by that, like even the original Sonic games on Genesis, I know people thought it was like, oh, these are just as good as Mario. Not even close. Get out of here with your Sonic BS. They're not good games. And he continues to get worse.
Yeah.
I just don't get Sonic fans. I never got it. You couldn't even enjoy the levels because you felt like you had to go fast, but the game actually sometimes doesn't want you to. So it's just like this weird disconnect between like, you're this character that should always go fast. And the first like 1 or 2 levels you can run through. There's no tricky jumps or spikes. And as you get further into the game, there's like really challenging platforming. And like, if you go fast and don't take your time, you will get hit, lose your rings, you will die. And it's like, well, that's stupid. I have to walk as the fastest thing. It's just bad gaming immersion. I hate it.
Yeah. Fair analysis. I will add an asterisk. I like Sonic 2, the one with like the casino level.
It's one of the most well-received ones. That's fair.
I do like that one. In fact, I got it for my PlayStation. They do like a disc of just like all old games, like retro games. And I play Sonic with my kid quite a bit. And
nice.
Fun fact, I actually beat it within the past few weeks for the first time ever. I had to like Google how to beat that last level. Like Sonic, there's like a metal Sonic, and then Robotnik jumps into this like giant Sonic suit. And unless you know exactly how to do it, you'll never beat it. And I just never beat it. So like, I beat it like 30 years in the making. So.
I love it. I've never been a Sonic game. It's probably just because I didn't play that many, and so I hate on them because everybody got to enjoy it, and I was like, it can't be that good. I'm still like in that kid phase, like the kid comes in, like, I got this new game, or I saw this new movie, and you're like, well, I bet it's not good, but you're just mad that you haven't seen it or played it.
Right. I will say out of that era, Super Mario Brothers 3. I really like where you get the feather and you can fly, like that game.
That's an all-timer, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, small gaming aside there. That's awesome. You got to play Sonic 2 recently.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, moving on down. The Forrest Gump region. I'm gonna go. I feel like I gotta go drama here, and I'm gonna go with Daniel-san. Daniel LaRusso, Roddy Kid, right there. So, and then I think I know who I'm going with. As the 9 seed, taking on up. Oh, might have glitched out. Okay, so against Willie Mays Hayes, this is going to be kind of an odd matchup, but this is where it gets fun because this is where we see some of the matchups start to unfold. Yeah. So I can't let this dude fall any lower. Again, one of the athletes on here that wasn't the best athlete, he just had a tremendous amount of heart. Going with Rudy.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, kind of Willie Mays Hayes, polar opposite.
Yeah.
Willie Mays Hayes had all the talent in the world, kind of took it for granted. Rudy, not so much talent, but
Oh man, my dad would kill me. I didn't even have Rudy on this list, but he watches that movie like every year.
Okay. Alrighty, so who you got going up against?
Number 9. I'm gonna go with. Let's get Apollo Creed on here.
Okay, cool.
We've got to get more Rocky representation, and I think Apollo Creed is a more interesting matchup than one of the other guys. So,
for sure. Yeah, I had Apollo on my list. I was saving him to see if I could finagle a first-round matchup with his son.
oh, that'd have been. I took Adonis pretty high. That would have felt pretty bad to have Apollo super low and his son like a 3.
Right. Okay, so
I'd pick anybody, please. I don't want Sonic to win.
I'm gonna okay. I think I could finagle a decent little matchup with Sonic here. I wrote down a few fighters that I feel like are you got to be a good athlete to be a good fighter.
Yeah.
There's so many, but I feel like one of the most recognizable, Johnny Cage.
Wow.
So I'm gonna put Johnny Cage down here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he'll probably be my only video game athlete here, but who knows?
Wow, I didn't even think of like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter characters.
Yeah,
Those
it
are
opens up a whole world.
Yeah, I do have 2 more video game characters that probably get both. No, 3. Probably get at least 2 of them on here, but we'll see.
Sweet. All right, well, you are up, my friend. Who is going to go up to face Daniel-san from Karate Kid?
I figured I would be able to finagle this really easily. Why not have him square off? Johnny Lawrence, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Let's have him face off one more time here. All right, sweet.
All right.
All right, so over number 10s for me. All right.
Ricky Bobby.
Let's go with another racer. This is great. A video game racer, fictional. You probably haven't played his original game series, but he's very recognizable from being in the Super Smash Brothers games. He is in a future racing game called F-Zero, and he is Captain Falcon. And everybody knows Falcon Punch and Falcon Kick, and come on, that's just good fun.
That's awesome. Well done. F-Zero is a great game.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, going up against the Icebox. I got the perfect pick right here. Just because I think it'll be a good matchup in the first round. But if Banks squeezes through, I think it'll be a perfect matchup in the second round. I'm going with Julie the Cat.
Oh, I realized at the last second. I was like, wait, who's... Because when you mentioned you had a good matchup here, who are you going with? And then when you said a good matchup for Adam Banks, I was like, oh, it's another... Yeah, there was girls in the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, there was Connie.
I had a big crush on Connie. She was cute.
I had a little crush on Julie the Cat.
Yeah.
Who she makes an appearance. She's Henry Roland Gardner's love interest in Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, Milk's done that body good.
How did they get away with that? This girl's like 12.
Because it's at least another 12-year-old saying it, I think.
Speaking of Roland Gardner, here we go.
Here we go. Okay, who am I gonna put up against? Henry, Ro, and Gardner. Oh man, I don't want to do this. I didn't want to do this to Benny or Henry, but this character, I think I can hold off. I'm gonna go. I think this character is another fun, weird pick. I'm just gonna say it and get it over with, so I quit wasting time. I'm gonna go with Air Bud. I'm really pulling for Henry. I'm worried though. Pets and animals do better than they need to because everybody loves an animal and a pet, even though it never met you and doesn't love you back. I hope Henry wins, but I'm going to put Air Bud on there.
Yes, that is awesome. Oh, I love it. Okay, so who we got going up against Harry Potter?
God, I had so many picks that I hope lose. I'm rooting against Sonic. I'm rooting against Harry Potter. Come on, give me somebody good to smash that nerd.
Oh, man, Harry Potter. Let's see. Okay. This is a weird one. But I feel like this is a decent spot for him. This is going to be the most random matchup. So I'm going with Thumper from South Park, the ski instructor.
Oh, okay. Nice.
The guy who says, you're going to have a bad time. pretty athletic to be a good ski instructor. So
Yeah. They teach is it in South Park where they teach them like French fries and pizza?
yeah,
Yeah.
So
I've never skied in my life, but I know that, and I don't even know if that's a good way, if that's true or not. But South Park, I know more about skiing from South Park, and I feel like if I went there to ski, I'd be like, should I do pizza or French fries? People would be like, what are you talking about?
Oh god. Alrighty. Okay, so going up, dentist stance, and I think this is a decent matchup for the dentist. I'm gonna go. I feel like this is a way too low, but we gotta go. We gotta pull the trigger now. I'm going Billy Hoyle from White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah, nice. I like it.
It would have been interesting to have Billy Hoyle versus
Jesus.
No, versus Roy Munson, because it's played by the same guy.
Oh, also true. Yeah.
And they could, we'll see. All right. Along 11 going up against Bobby Boucher here in the first round.
Man, I don't know who to put here. All right, I'm gonna go with a personal favorite of mine. The other Rookie of the Year character, not the guy from the Mets, even though he's framed as probably like the most dangerous hitter. I'm not going with whatever his name is, the Mike Piazza ripoff. I'm going with Chet Steadman.
Oh boy. I don't know if I got the spelling right. I feel like it's something like that.
Yeah, looks good.
Cool. Alrighty. So I don't know if you've ever seen this next movie, but if I had another childhood hero in addition to Benny the Jet, so this is a perfect
nice
decision for this guy. It's from a movie called Airborne, and it's about
Airborne. The rest of
it. It's about a surfer kid who moves from California to Cincinnati, and it's a huge bummer, but then he takes up rollerblading and he's really good at it. His name is Mitchell Goosen, and he's from the movie called Airborne, and it's a great.
I like it.
Yeah, highly recommend. So
now is
going up against Lola Bunny.
Yeah. Now is that's like it's a theatrical release movie, right?
It's a theatrical release, actually. Early 90s, you can look it up. It's actually one of the first appearances from Seth Green and Jack Black.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah. Oh, man. I've got 2 or 3 great picks for Kenny Powers, but your description of that movie's plot made me think of Disney Channel original movies, which a lot of times were sports involved, and I think I might get one in here very late. Okay. But, man, who to have against Kenny Powers? There's a couple really, really funny options.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. This was one that I saw as like a really cool alternative take. And I'm going to pick this instead of one of the 2 boxers, which I think would be funny as hell. But I'm going to go with Maximus from Gladiator.
Oh, sweet. That's a good one. I don't have any Gladiator.
Because Forrest Gump is in here too. So a little bit of that like high drama, high praise film characters that aren't traditional athletes, but would be athletes. Yeah, I saw that on somebody's list, and I was like, "That's great. I gotta get that."
That's awesome. Good pick, Maximus against Kenny Powers.
the things Danny McBride's character as Kenny Powers would say and talk trash to Maximus. I can imagine it now.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, real quick. I'm going to need you to tell a 2-minute story or build up your next pick for 2 minutes. I run to the restroom. I can't hold it any longer.
Yes,
but
right on.
It's all on your shoulders. So.
All right. Well, we've got a little bit of a break. Do you guys want to see me juggle? Do you guys? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. While we're on the topic of Eastbound and Down and Danny McBride, Chris and I we love outtakes and blooper reels from TV shows and from movies. I think we should do either our top 6 best bloopers or outtakes, or even a full bracket. And the reason I thought of that is because Danny McBride, there's a lot of good Eastbound and Down bloopers and outtakes, but and I think this is even an outtake. I think this is from the actual movie. There's a lot of good outtakes in This Is the End, which had Seth Rogen, James Franco, Danny McBride, and all those guys. But oh my God, the scene where James Franco comes out and asks who jerked off in his magazine, and Danny McBride and him just start yelling at each other and talking about, self-pleasuring is honestly, I cry watching it every time. If I need a good laugh till I cry, that is one of my go-tos. So that would probably be one of my. Well, again, it's not a blooper or an outtake, so that would be rough not to have it. I got to figure out a way where I get to talk about that scene because it's incredible. So little secret, Roy Munson. I could go with the dude here. I could pick another bowler out of the dude versus Roy Munson. Otherwise, who am I going with? Because like I said, I didn't want to put boxers in here. Although I thought Drago could have gone against Wolf the Dentist Stanson as like a really good, like scary foreign guy. But no, I think I know my pick here. What's up? You're back.
I'm back.
I was talking about. I realized because I was thinking about Danny McBride, how much we love outtakes and bloopers and stuff, and I was like, man, Chris and I should do like a top 6 of our favorite like blooper outtakes of all time, or even a full bracket. Because I was like, there's so many. We could talk about stuff that Danny McBride's on Eastbound and Down. This is the End. And you start thinking of all the Seth Rogen movies too, Super Troopers and stuff like that. And then of course, it's always Sunny bloopers and outtakes. I'm a big fan of The League and their outtakes, but that's what I rambled on for a minute and a half or so.
That's perfect. I've been trying to find The League on like a streaming, and I think it's only on Hulu, which I unfortunately don't have. I need to do like a free trial and watch The League because you speak so highly of it, and it's just one of those shows that's escaped me all these years. So I got to find a way to watch it.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't trying to finagle this one, but as it got here, like the movie has bowling in it, but there's not. We don't know the quality of their bowling skills. I'm gonna put the dude in here from The Big Lebowski.
That's awesome.
Because why not?
That's perfect. Yep. Cool. Okay. What are we? 11?
12s, right?
12. Okay. Willie Beeman. Willie Beeman versus I'm going to go with another drama role that I've actually never seen, but Jake LaMotta from Raging Bull, Robert De Niro.
Oh, nice.
So I feel like a nice dramatic matchup. With 2 movies that I'm not super familiar with, be a good.
Right on. Good choice.
Yeah. All right. So who you got going up against Spike in the first round?
Oh, I know 2 people here. I feel like if I put the one that I'd like to put here, it's a good choice. It's maybe a little bit high seated. If I put the other one, I let this character get too low because this is a very memorable character. If you're from our age. And if you played the game, it is a video game character, but it's like a computer game character.
Okay.
And he's like the legendary, most recognizable one, even though some others were just as good. I am going to do it. I'm going to have Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Baseball and the Backyard Sports here. He was one of the players you always picked. I liked Stephanie Morgan and Keisha Phillips were some of my go-tos as well. So I was always surprised like Pablo Sanchez got the most shine, but I think it's because white kids played that game and it was like the first interaction you had with like a Latin American person.
Yeah, that's awesome. I never played the game, but I still do the character. Actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like, but yeah, if I was gonna go, like I said, I'll probably lay off video games. But did you ever play Super Punch Out? There's a final boss character, Nick Bruiser. Who's like super good. There's a few super good characters in that last section. I was going to go with that, but I feel like just having Johnny Cage on here I'm cool with. But nice. I have the perfect matchup for White Goodman.
Oh, man, I'm excited for it.
She did play on the same team. It's Fran Stalinovskivich.
Nice.
I'll have to figure out a way to size that up later. But,
size it
it's the obviously the broad he brings in from Poland or wherever.
Yeah.
Russia maybe. And
that's great. Nice.
Okay, so going up against Dottie Make sure I. Some super dramatic Christmas music playing right now.
Yeah, it is. This is yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The list is getting thin. You know what? I'm going to do it against Dottie. I'm going to go with Mr. Miyagi.
Oh wow, nice. I like it.
All right. 13.
All right.
Moving on down. You got your 13 up against Randy the Ram.
Let's go with, how many picks do I have left then? 13, 14. Well, I've got 2 for each. So 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s. We've got 8. I've got 8 more picks. You're down to 7. I got to make sure I time everything right. I'm going to go with, let's go. Oh yeah, let's I know I talked about this being like a great matchup for somebody earlier because it would have played out like almost this weird heel face thing, but Drago. Ivan Drago. Let's get him here.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Okay. What, that was a 13?
Yep.
Okay, going up against Roy Hobbs. I think this is a pretty good spot for Dean Youngblood from the movie. Just a classic movie.
Yeah. Craig would be so mad with how low that went, I think. Youngblood is like one of Craig's favorite movies, I'm pretty sure.
I know, I let him slip a little too long.
No, that's good.
I gotta give Youngblood a rewatch. It's been too long.
Oh, I should go comedy here. Yeah, I mean, he was close. He might have not made it until later. So I do have one true comedy pick left. I think only one. Well, I think there's 2, but I actually think this is the better pick because we talked about, do you pick the more recognizable character or do you pick the person who's the better athlete in the story? But a lot of times the better athlete in the story is an antagonist and like barely touched on. They're not all Shooter McGavins. But I'm going to go with the antagonist, not Cal Naughton from Talladega Nights, but I'm going to go with Sacha Baron Cohen's character, Jean Girard. It's like Jean Girard from Talladega Nights. He was like, yeah. Cool. Yeah, he's like the F1 racer that comes over and does NASCAR, and he's a stud in F1, and he makes out with Will Ferrell, so there you go.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Such a good character. Awesome. Coop
all right.
versus Jean Girard.
That's a good little 4 comedy quadrant. Gotta love it.
That's perfect.
All right, here we go. 14s. Against Shooter. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna get a few picks on here that are kind of personal favorites of mine, although this is gonna be a bad spot. Like a lot of mine are now like non-movie picks actually. Do I go video game or TV? Flip a coin, think a thing. I'm gonna go with video game character here. I'm gonna do Stretch from NBA Street. He was also in NBA Street Volume 2. There's a couple tough choices there. I feel like Bonafide was also really popular, but I loved the NBA Street games. Stretch was on the cover. He's kind of like the old 70s guy. He almost looks like Jackie Moon, but black from Will Ferrell's movie.
Yeah.
But he's just like an old timer, still got the skills, look like he played like ABA basketball instead of NBA. So let's get him on there. I think it's a good choice. So that Shooter has like a recognizable person, but not like not a walkthrough, but should win.
yeah. We'll see how many gamers show up. It'll be interesting. I do. NBA Street was awesome.
NBA Street was so good.
Play that game to death.
Yeah.
Right, good stuff. Okay, Reggie Dunlap. I gotta get some heavy hitters on here. I'm gonna go with Mel Clark.
Well, from Angels, yeah.
You used to be Mel Clark.
Used to be, yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Used to be. So, yeah. See how he does.
Awesome. All right, now I can go for my kid here, and I got Pablo in here, or I got Pablo somewhere. I don't remember where he went. Oh yeah, he's in here, Pablo Sanchez. And now I've got one more kid coming. You made me think of it when you talked about Airborne. They could end up facing each other. His story is also similar. He was from like Hawaii and moved to California. Or maybe no, he moved from California to like Minnesota. I feel like there was 2 movies, and that like one was just normal. He was in California, but not. Johnny Tsunami from Disney Channel original movies is a surfer, but he learns to snowboard and shred the gnar, as they say. And I think if you are around my age and had the Disney Channel and watch those movies, he's a very recognizable name. That's like one of the iconic Disney Channel originals.
That's awesome. Never watched, but
shred that gnar. Yeah.
Okay, Adonis, Creed. All right. I'm feeling like I've been a little light on dramas. I gotta figure out who from my
balance. I haven't felt that way about your picks at all. Just if you're feeling self-conscious.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. I think I know how I'm going to get on here. I'm going to go with Maggie Fitzgerald from the movie $1 Million Baby.
Yeah, nice.
Very, very determined, very skilled boxer. If you've never seen the movie, it takes a weird turn at the end. I did not see that coming. But very good movie, and I feel like she deserves to be on here.
Nice. I like it. 2 boxers. I think that's a good, not intentionally finagled, but good matchup.
Right.
Are we on 15s?
We're on 15s.
Ooh, 8 left, 4 each. Let's do it.
Cool. Alrighty. Happy Gilmore, I feel like, is a good matchup for. Ooh, I'm not going to put this down here, but I could have gone Paul Crewe, Happy Gilmore's quarterback, or not Happy. Adam Sandler from The Longest Yard.
Yeah,
is the quarterback, Paul Crewe. Not going to put him on here, but I am going to put Big Earn from the movie Kingpin.
Nice.
Like, that's a good heel face. So whoever comes out of this, whether it's Big Earn or Happy, if they move on to face Shooter, I feel like that's a great matchup.
Yeah,
it's a great matchup. So,
oh my gosh, that's a really solid sub-region there. There's a lot of great names. Yeah, I love it.
That's really good. Cool. Alrighty. So, who's going up against Adam Banks?
Wow, I didn't know he didn't have his matchup because Charlie Conway is still out there.
Charlie's still out.
But no, you know what? So is Junior from Little Giants. We could get the Little Giants. You know what? I'm gonna make it happen. This is a Final Four little region matchup. 2 Little Giants characters, 2 Disney Mighty Ducks characters. Let's do Junior.
Wow.
Let's make it happen. I wouldn't have picked him. It's so fun.
I can't believe you did it. All right. So, yeah, I think I only got like 3 picks left. So I got to really.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me search my list here. I know one of my 16 seeds. It feels very cruel to hold this off until a 16 seed, but I feel like it's the perfect kid region. So I'm going to pull out another name from the Sandlot. It is the Benny the Kid region. I'm going with Ham.
Ham, there you go. I was like, I think it's got to be Ham. Could make an argument for Squint, maybe. Squints, maybe.
You can totally make an argument. You could really. I do feel like the second best player on that team was the pitcher, Kenny DeNunez.
Yeah.
When they give their like stories at the very end, he actually did go on to play AAA ball, but he never made it to the majors. But he did make it pretty far. So
yeah.
All right. So moving on down, going up against the 2 seed Rob Tidwell.
Let's see. Do I say both of these as my 16s, or am I worried I'm gonna back out? Let's go with. I'm gonna do it. I think this is the only TV show character I've picked. I don't think I've picked any TV show ones. It almost worked better as a 16 because while she could have been really good, she ended up being like a sideshow because she threw really hard but had no accuracy, and so everybody just wanted her to come in and to see violence. It's from Futurama, where they play Blurns Ball, this like parody of baseball. And Leela, they see her like throw and like just deck a guy, and she gets signed. She goes in like the infamy Hall of Fame or whatever, like the worst player Hall of Fame with like Hank Aaron Jr. or something, who never like got a base hit and she like never threw a strike because she just pegged every guy that went up there. Weird sentence. So go with Leela from Futurama.
Leela.
Yeah.
Is that spelled right? Or is it?
Leela. Yeah, you got it.
Leela. All right. Okay.
16's Rocky. I love it. Okay. So this is probably my last video game character. It's again from another fictional sport like Blurns Ball. This is from the only Final Fantasy game I've played. But they had a sport called Blitzball, which is like basically, I mean, it's handball, but it actually is underwater. Instead of you're not breathing the air, like everybody can breathe underwater somehow. But it's like handball. And there's a lot of like really good minor players you can recruit. It's like its own game within a game. But I'm gonna pick the main character of the game that you can play as, and is like, you know, one of the top skill players anyway. I always pronounce his name as Titus. People tell me it's pronounced Titus, which is bullshit. It's Tidus.
Okay.
But I'm gonna call him Titus. But yeah, Titus from Final Fantasy X as the Blitzballer himself.
Okay. Sweet. Ricky Vaughn. Rick Vaughn. I'm going to put him up against Gordon Bombay.
Nice. I'm glad to see Gordon on there.
Yeah, I feel like Bombay, you know, he was on his way to the majors. He took a cheap shot to the knee and didn't quite make it, but I want Bombay to get on here, and I think Rick Vaughn is a good matchup for him.
You know, this is such a great matchup for another reason. Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. They're brothers in real life, or half brothers.
Yeah. I think
They're
they're actual brothers, and Emilio just changed his name because he didn't want to be in like a Sheen or something.
Yeah,
But maybe they're half brothers. I can't remember, but yeah, they're definitely related very closely. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we didn't. I think there's probably some other really cool kid athletes, but we've talked about him. I didn't put him down against Adam Banks. I will put him here as the heart and soul of the Mighty Ducks. I mean, although you could go like Fulton Reed, you could go Keenan's character with a knuckle puck.
Yeah.
I loved the guy from Texas that had like the stick handles and the deeks because I was all about flashy hockey players. You could go Connie Moreau if you're still have a crush on her at the age that I am, and I'm like, oh, get her on there. She's cute. But yeah, let's do Charlie Conway against Benny the Jet. It's a good matchup.
That's a really good matchup. In fact, depending on who we have voting, those two 1-in-16 matchups, there's not a whole lot of split. We could see some upsets here.
Yeah, I think
could easily take out Benny the Jet, and I feel like if we don't have enough people who have seen Major League, Gordon Bombay could put up a real matchup against Rick the Wild Thing Vaughn.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think Sandlot is the most well-recognized movie, and then maybe Mighty Ducks, and then Major League, because I think like Major League as a comedy and a baseball movie just like slips under the radar, but Sandlot is like all-time family, kids growing up, adults movie, and then Mighty Ducks is more aimed towards kids. So I do think Benny the Jet, because of the Sandlot's just like all-time status, should be safe. But it could be close.
Yeah, we'll see. You never know.
Here we go. Time for Mr. or Mrs. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. And then don't forget, like we mentioned before, we could still always finagle some triple threats. I know there's a couple like very big sports movies we'll have some characters out of. I can't think of the name of the baseball movie that had Bull Durham. I don't think we picked anybody from Bull Durham.
Right.
Not that I care.
I have Crash Davis from Bull Durham. That's Kevin Costner. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I am going.
That's totally fair. I felt the same. That's why I didn't pick him.
So for my final pick, there's no other choice for me. So we all know Forrest Gump was kind of slow. In fact, he kind of almost went full R-word. So I'm going to pick another character from another sports movie that went full R-word, and we're going to get a really good battle.
What? Johnny Knoxville from The Ringer.
I thought about Knoxville from the Ring, but there's another movie where Cuba Gooding Jr. played a character named Radio.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Radio. And
Oh.
I think if we were to finagle any triple threats, we gotta have Knoxville in this.
Yeah. As offensive as that might be to some people, if they like whether they've seen the movie or not, I think people that haven't seen the movie will think, if they're offended by things, will go, "Oh, that's poor taste." And maybe there are some scenes in there that don't hold up now as well as they did when we allowed more stuff. But I do think that it's one of those things where like everybody who's not a part of that group is like, don't make fun of this group. But like, how much representation do like Special Olympics get in like major films that you get to see? And at the end of the day, it pokes fun at the guy who's outside of their group and raises up like the kids that are actually like the athletes in Special Olympics, and says like, these are the true athletes, these are good people. Like, we're poking fun at this guy, and he learns in the end like what's important, like to treat everybody equally and stuff. So I actually think like a Special Olympics athlete being in our best fictional athlete bracket, even if it's the guy who faked it, is really good, honestly, and when all is said and done.
I agree. It's a great movie. If we want to finagle any triple threats, there's, like you said, there's probably a few we left off. I know there's still some on my list, honorable mentions that didn't make it. They could really go on. I could get another young blood. We could get some from The Longest Yard.
Yeah, nobody from The Longest Yard.
Yeah, a lot of matchups we could throw in.
Yeah. Well, we got it. We were like right done at 3, and then I told a story about Special Olympics for an extra minute. So sorry for taking us over there, but we did it. This was a quick one. I think we did awesome. I think a lot of these regions and even some of these like little sub narratives that are happening are going to be really fun.
Yeah, me too. And if you're still with us, I know live streams are tough. We really don't get any people tune in to live streams. But if you tune in later, we're going to kick off voting here on Monday, the 18th of December, same time as we finish out the best chain restaurant. So yeah, that's the bracket for the best fictional athlete. Matt, you got any last thoughts or final words?
The only thing that I'm thinking of is if we ever do run a best athlete, we could take like the final like elite 8 from each and do like a little 16 mini bracket, real versus fictional athletes, because I don't know if that's really been done as much, and that'd be a cool thing to see what people think on that.
I agree. That's a great idea. Totally do that.
Yeah, or just like throw each of the 8 fictional against like a good counterpart real life and see who people think's better. But yeah. Then we don't have to do a whole real athlete bracket. That'd be too hard. We could barely do 64 fictional athletes without missing out people. How are we going to start talking about like the countless real sports?
Right. And it's just like
decades.
Like I ran that best basketball player on Twitter that one time, and it's just like, as I'm doing the votes, I'm like, this seems silly because Jordan is going to win. I mean, at this point, everyone else is just playing for second, third, but like, maybe Jordan doesn't win that. I don't know, but there's plenty of great athletes. But I feel like you think athlete, you think Michael Jordan still.
Yeah. Right on.
But
all right.
Cool. Well, good stuff.
Yes.
This will be up on YouTube immediately. And take care, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.